I was this guy. I've been in this place a lot in a lot of different aspects of my life. And I've looked at other people and wondered, why do they get the opportunities? Why do they get the love? Like, why are people buying their prints? Why are people buying their work? Why are people showing them? Like, why are they getting features? Why are they getting like it goes on. It goes on, right? It's totally cool. It's totally cool to feel that way. Everybody's being cool.
What, am I not being cool?
What?
Am I not being cool right now?
It's okay. Everybody's being cool. Am I not being cool?
No, but the real thing about that is, and this is gonna sound crazy, and it's gonna sound like you've heard it maybe in different ways a bunch of times, but like those people receive that love in part, at least 50% of that, at least 50% of that is because those avenues exist, right? Because they've created avenues in which they wanted to be supported. They've supported those avenues, and then the people who want to show them love, want to give them money, have a very clear transactional path. Now, I don't know about you. I don't know about you, but I can assume, I imagine that you have a hard time selling your work. You have a hard time marketing your work or doing anything like that. And like I have a hard time doing that. I have a hard time selling my work, shilling my work, submitting things for sure, for sure. But what I've noticed is that some really cool things start to happen when you start to create avenues for people to support you. And those things have to be more than a page to like or an Instagram to follow or a post to interact with. A post is getting closer. Or having a website, having a contact form, um, putting your email in your Instagram bio. It's got to go further than that. It's got to be an avenue. It's got to be like a road, a path, something people travel on. And the way that you create something that people travel on, first of all, has to do with experimentation, has to do with trailblazing. So you have two separate points, one point by the lake and one point at your house. Hope you have a house by the lake. So I have that dream for everybody, right? So you just built this house and it's up on a hill and you know where the lake is and you want to go to the lake. Like, what's the first thing that you have to start to do? You have to start to figure out what the easiest way is to get down to the lake. And if you're young, if you're able bodied, if you have some time on your hands, or if you have some familiarity with the area, you might just like run down there and figure it out, jump over a log. Uh, you know, you don't want to like twist an ankle, right? But if you feel good about it and you just want to get to the lake, go do it. And that's something simple like making a post that says, "Hey, I have this painting for sale. It's affordable. I'm willing to work with you on the pricing." And like the first time I made that post, I sold two paintings. I literally sold two paintings that day. Those were like the first paintings I ever sold. I was like broke. I needed money. And I was like, all right, like, let me just see if people want these paintings. I just made a whole post about it. And then I sold hundreds of dollars worth of paintings in a day. That was a good day. But it's not, you don't want to always be doing that. That's not necessarily a consistent way down to the lake. That's not a consistent way to the fun, to the things that sustain us, right? Because like you can't be hopping over logs forever. Like you want to be able to enjoy that as well. So I'm going to build a bridge too far with this analogy for sure. But like you have to then realize, okay, this is something that people want to do, but certain people aren't going to be willing to jump over the log. Maybe that's the analogy, right? You have somebody over to your house and you want to show them the lake, and like your homies, your real like tight homies are going to say, okay, yeah, like let's go. Let's jump over the log. They're going to enjoy that process with you. But you see where I'm going with this, in that that's not scalable. That's not something that you can open up to more and more people who are unfamiliar with you, people who didn't know what to wear when they came over to your house. Somebody's in like a leather jumpsuit, like a Gucci leather jumpsuit at your house, and it's like a perfect suit, like, like 25, 35 grand. They're chilling, they're luxed out. You're like, yeah, you want to go check out the lake? I'm like, yeah, I love lakes. I want to go hang out. And you just open up your back door and it's just forest, right? You can see like a little glimpse of blue down there. They're not going out there. So then what do you have to do? It depends on who you're trying to attract. It depends on what you're trying to do. And you got to be reasonable with those things. That like, you don't need to be building the infrastructure for Emmanuel Perodin, world famous gallerist, if you don't know, commercial gallerist. You don't need to be building the infrastructure for conversations with Emmanuel Perodin right now. Most likely, those kinds of things come slowly. That's the equivalent of like wanting to drop in a boat into the lake, wanting to expand your driveway down to the lake so you can back in a boat. And like, you can totally do that. It's going to take a lot of time. It's going to take a lot of effort. It's going to take a lot of money. I can tell you right now, just like paving that is going to be like 10 G's. So let's start with what we have. And like, what you can even start doing is winding a path from your house to the lake and making that into a footpath, finding the easiest method through, finding the relaxing, safe method through to money, to money or to connection or communication, to friendship, to artist collaboration. All of those things are a part of getting to the joy of being an artist. So you'll have to understand, like, first of all, like, what is the joy of being an artist? And if the joy of being an artist for you is selling a painting for $50,000, then you're going to have a long time before you experience joy. In the Stanford Marshmallow Experiment, you probably heard about this, children were offered a choice between one small but immediate reward or two small rewards if they waited for a period of time. And what that indicated to the researchers over the course of their life is that people that were able to defer gratification tended to have better life outcomes, higher SAT scores, lower BMIs, yada, 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 whatever. Okay, but that's not like golden rule, like delay gratification, and you'll become successful. I think, I was listening to Gary Vee earlier, and he's talking about that. He's talking about putting yourself last. And there are good points to that, but like, you've got to do what's sustainable. You have to do things that you can build habits around. If you say like, I'm going to do X thing for X amount of time until I reach this unattainable goal, like, you are going to be like Fluffy Bunny. You're going to have like too much in your mouth, too much delayed gratification. You're not chewing, you're waiting, you're filling up, and like, they're marshmallows anyways, so it's fucked. There's no nutrition. There's nothing. It's a bullshit study. I don't even care. But like, finding and understanding what attainable levels of gratification are, if that's getting your work into a show, even if it's not at that perfect gallery, like being able to do that consistently and to work on that, that starts to forge the path. That starts to forge the path and create opportunities. Because when you are able to look at things leisurely, when you're able to take your time with what you're doing, your enjoyment of what you're doing goes up. If you're feeling good and you're making work and you're able to do that and you're able to like sustain that slowly, parts of it might feel frustrating. But like this is the fun part, you know? Nobody ever stops talking about the fun part, the nostalgia, the memory, the time before everything got too complicated. And like I am so ready. I'm so excited. I'm so excited for the time that my life as an artist becomes too complicated. Like now I know that that's what I want. But I've had a lot of fun over the past 10 years painting. And I've learned so much from that journey, and I've been able to clarify what it is that I want. And with being able to clarify what it is that I want, I'm not building the path too wide or too narrow. I'm not wasting time and resources that aren't aligned with the intended outcome. For me, I want to have a path that I can walk down my entire life. So I want it to be friendly and gradual and accessible, gracious and approachable. I want to be able to have fun moments of adornment and landscaping and adornment. You know, I want to build that path for myself with flowers along the way, not just a highway. And I have a really clear idea of how I want each and every day in my dream life to look. And I think that I'm about 10 years away from that. You'll hear me say a lot that the alignment, aligning yourself with your goals, is the key to achieving them. But and it is 100%. 100% is 100% is align everything you can. Align every single thing you can down to all of these granular levels with what it is that would exist and would be a part of your perfect day. Align all that shit, or else you're never gonna have it. I might have been a little harsh. But before that, you have to spend time thinking. Thinking about what it is that you want. Recollecting what it is that you have experienced and how it pertains to what you want. And generate through thought and through emotion and through experimentation in the real world what a perfect day, a perfect normal day in your life looks like as an artist 10 years from now, 20 years from now. And hold that vision clearly in your mind. This is no vision board shit. But like you might need to make a vision board. You know? You might need to like schedule out like like you can get a schedule out and write down to to 15, 30-minute intervals like what a perfect day looks like in your future and the types of things that surround and exist in that. And maybe you work backwards from there. You have to have a clear idea about what your perfect day looks like. And then you can start building that path. But like if I just think more, wider, it's like, bro, what are we building all of this for? Like, why are we taking so much effort when like we still haven't been able to get to the lake at all? We still haven't been able to find joy in our experience at all. So, find those efficiencies, align yourself with your goals, cut out the flack, like small successes turn to bigger successes. Like, I hope this is one that sticks with you. Thanks for watching.